Here we are. We're hopping into draft 1 versus IQ. A little unfair. They distracted me with Magic the Gathering, and I missed. Oh, I'm thinking. Was I getting some Mario distortion there? No, maybe that was just the song. I thought I had audio misses there, but it's fine. They distracted me with Magic the Gathering. It caused me to be a little late to the bans, but hey, we're here. If we're not that late in the end. A Hui banned away. Everybody hates to see Hui. No Hui. No Hui. Twitch banned as well. Great, amazing bans, because Twitch can be really annoying, really obnoxious. And yeah, Rihi. Did I miswrite that, or is it Rihi? Yeah, it's Rihi, right? I hope I'm saying that correctly. But regardless, they're pretty good at the Twitch, so honestly, pretty good ban, because man, a good Twitch can be really nasty, really disgusting. Stealthing in, going behind your team, and just super skewers through everybody's heart, piercing through it, absolutely destroying all of them. You know, I was playing against an AP Twitch and ARAM the other day. Holy moly. It does like 600, maybe more. It did like a heck ton of damage. It might have been, I don't want to say upwards of 1,000, but it might have been upwards of 1,000 true damage on just the passive burn. And I was like, this is a little crazy. This is a little crazy. And AD Twitch's burn isn't bad either. So Twitch, like, definitely an excellent ban. I like that. Oh, and speaking of excellent things, I love to see, oh my goodness, Volibear, Zach, and Caitlyn all brought in. As we all know, Slamurai Jax Caitlyn absolutely useless. Definitely useless. Does nothing besides just a lot of damage. Yeah, it's pretty decent. And on top of being decent, Volibear and Zach, both definitely solid choices. And honestly, originally I was seeing this and I was being like, okay, well, it's going to be Volley top and Zach jungle. But honestly, I think it's actually going to be the opposite of that, if anything. Actually, just based on the champs that these people play. That was just kind of like my initial reaction, just based on like typical league stuff for the past. But man, it's been changing up. And Volibear, definitely a solid choice for the jungle. And in the hands of Doki and Fusro, they can definitely make it work very, very well. I got high hopes for these guys. Moving on from that, though, we got the Mordekaiser. I believe we've seen Doki playing into Mordekaiser on Zach in the last time that I casted. So I'm pretty sure Doki's pretty good at that matchup. But regardless of how good they are at that matchup, Mordekaiser definitely a solid one to pick away. Or not to pick away, but to pick into it. Because that ult can definitely help you out a lot if you're winning that fight. Because Zach then loses all of his ability to run away. Because Zach definitely has a lot of ability to run away. Both teams locking in Enchanter supports. I'll have to keep an eye on this one, because honestly, I haven't seen Enchanters very much recently. Mainly AP and engages. So I like some Soraka cooking. I want to see some cooking on Soraka. I'm probably not going to see that unless other people have been and then they copy it. But I like to see that potential there. But we're finally gonna have all champs locked in. And I'm gonna have a chance to look down the list. So overall here, like, one has some very hard-hitting backliners in the hands of Vix and Jack. The Victor and the Caitlyn are both pretty decently ranged. I mean, I think Victor's like technically a bit more mid-range than like as long range as Caitlyn is, but the E kind of hits far. The E kind of hits far, and on top of that, like I don't know. I mean, the W is also like a great spacer. That stun in the Victor's W it's a good spacer. The slow on top of it as well, and I feel like Soraka is going to do an excellent job kind of pumping up that backline. I feel like you're almost going to have like 3 walls in one's team comp here. You're going to have like the Volibear and Zac. I haven't even like talked about that yet. You're going to have the Volibear and Zac, the Caitlyn and Victor, and then the Soraka all the way back here, which is going to be really fantastic if that really works out for IQ. I feel like not even Tristana can make it all the way through those walls to try and get onto the Soraka. Hopefully... I'm looking through here, looking up and down here. I didn't even notice. Kind of important. We got a Zyra jungle. I don't know if this is the first Zyra jungle in the Beer League. Probably not. Maybe it is. Probably not, but it's an exciting jungler. Kind of new, kind of good. It's super crazy if you're actually like really good at it. I mean, just in terms of really good at the clear, because the clear is so fast. You can like... One thing about jungle clears is like doing Krugs takes forever just because like going to it it's like so out of the way compared to all the other camps. But since Zyra can actually just do it from over the wall at level 2, it's kind of crazy for Zyra. As long as that jungler actually knows how to execute that and do that. But back onto these 3 walls that I wanted to talk about, because we got Zac and Volibear up in the front. Even though Volley is going to do probably that Jack of all trades, Navori, Rod of Ages, Spear Visage, whatever he wants, basically. He's going to be a little squishier, but still pretty darn tanky. Especially with the Navori Quick Blades. It allows him to proc a lot of Ws, which gives him a lot of healing. IQ is definitely going to want to pick up some anti-heal this game because one has so much healing. I imagine their best source of anti-heal would probably be on the Zyra. I feel like that's gotta be what you want to do. That's gotta be what you want to do because Zyra will have burn items, and burn and anti-heal are just 2 things that go so amazingly well together. So you're going to want to slap those together, of course. And then, but like once you have that, you need a way to actually like kill and get through one, because you have to like front to back this one, right? Like, because you can't, like Zac and Volibear will do too much damage to you to just ignore the front and go straight for the mid. So you have to front it back this one, surely. But I don't know if you can with this combo. I mean, Tristana could be doing the damage. Sivir is going to be clearing waves. So I don't know. I think IQ's 100% going to struggle in team fights here. 110% going to be struggling in team fights here. Against one. But besides that, I believe, no, it's not time for us to get a game. The client tricked me. The client popped up and gave me a 5-second countdown, but that was the other 5-second countdown, not the 5-second countdown that I care about. So, IQ's strategy here this game, I feel like it's just going to be a lot of, I don't know, here's the thing, is I feel like teams in these tournaments oftentimes don't fully think, I don't know, I don't want to say this and sound like I'm insulting them or anything, because like all these players are almost certainly better than me. I'm a lot better at looking at league games and saying what's good and bad than I am at being good in the league games. So I don't want to sound like I'm insulting teams here when I'm saying this, but I feel like teams in these tournaments, and especially this applies to like even like high elo play, like I don't want to just say high elo, but like actual like LCS, LEC, etc. But that's a little different. But I feel like these teams never actually consider what their team is good at, and they always just want to fight, even if their team is like so insanely outmatched in a fight. Like, I'm worried that IQ is just gonna like try to be taking team fights in the late game when I feel like their comp is just gonna be a lot better at split pushing. I mean, like, Mordekaiser, Tristana, and Sivir are actually 3 pretty good split pushers, so you can kind of just send 2 of those 3 to the side lanes. Everybody else mid, do like a 1-3-1 kind of thing, defend mid, push the sides, and then move for an objective on wherever one goes, on the opposite side of the map wherever one goes. Like I feel like IQ could be doing really good with that, but I feel like they're gonna go for a fight, and if they're gonna go for a fight, honestly, I'm trying to think about who you'd want to R on that Mordekaiser, because Mordekaiser, like, do you want to try and pull out the Zac, reduce a lot of CC, pull a tank out of them, can let your team kind of just try to sort of steamroll through everybody else, but the Volibear is also a problem. But if you just take out the Volibear, it's like, is that Zac gonna be too much of a problem then? But then it's like, well, do you want to try to take Caitlyn, or do you want to try to take Victor? Because Caitlyn could be going to take, but you might lose too much of your health trying to get to the Caitlyn, and the Caitlyn might kill you in your Mordekaiser. Or we know Mordekaiser's kind of infamous, not necessarily infamous, but a lot of Mordekaiser mains complain about how he's a little bit too easy to kill inside of his R, so that might be a little bit of a problem. But enough yapping, except I will have to continue to yap. But for now, once I make sure everybody's on the right side, we're gonna hop into game.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Finally, here we are in game. As expected, Zac top. No surprises there, I'm sure, for people watching. Doki just hasn't. I'm sorry, Riki, but now everybody knows. Oh no, I revealed it! I revealed the secret!
Minions have spawned.
Alright, well, nice to see the players exchanging pleasantries. But now it is time to start beating each other up in lane. So let's have a look at these lanes. I mean, the Sivir Milio should be relatively safe. The Milio W will give Sivir just a lot of ability to both heal and sit back and farm. If anything goes terribly wrong, Sivir E is easy to break out here. You don't really have to play reactionarily with Sivir E at all. You know, if you just see a Caitlyn Q coming at you, just press that E, you get some healing, you're all good. This lane should be relatively safe, smooth sailing, calm for IQ. Even a Fusro gank I don't think will be too insanely oppressive unless we're looking at some Fusro tower dives. Because that is when it will start to actually be pretty worrying. Because he can just completely disable the tower and then all three of them, L, Samurai Jack, and Fusro, will become quite a menace. And who knows, maybe if Experian will end up there as well. So, should be a relatively smooth sailing lane, except for the potential for Fusro Tower Dive. As worst comes to worst, Milio has quote-unquote infinite healing with his W. So, I mean, compared to Soraka for infinite healing. So this should do relatively fine, although Reheat looks like they might struggle a little bit with mana here. Just trying to spam Qs and Ws to clear the wave. Might end up seeing a potential mana mune for them. Bone Garud able to easily hop away, but Fusro flashing over the wall. Gonna force Bone Garud to flash as well, but it looks like he's gonna be easily be able to walk away to his tower with the victory. It's going to flash forward. Experian getting first blood onto Bone. Bucci was there, but not able to do too much. Just going through their first clear. Is it first clear? Is it still first clear? It's definitely still first clear at this point, right? No. It's already, the first clear's already finished. What am I talking about? Level 4. What am I saying? Sort of first clear. Not going through it, but already through it. Ooh, Doki having to hop away here. Actually still able to hold the tether through all that distance. I'm surprised after the tether updates that actually remained for that long. I would have imagined that would have gone out of the range, but able to hold it for long enough, slapping against a minion, able to still get a little bit of value out of it. But the health bar is going to be low, of course. Truzak is never feared. Never in fear when their health bar is low. Fusro sneaking up here. Going to try for the lane gank, definitely. Kind of the only gank that'll really work. 3-6. It isn't really going to commit to anything there. So it is going to finally allow me some time to talk about a different lane. So I want to have a look at... We're gonna... I don't think anything's happening here. Come on, League. Nothing's happening here. I want to talk about this Mord versus Zac. Because, I mean, obviously, Doki, excellent at being a little annoying. But the main thing here is who really wins this. And this is like one of those top lanes I kind of like. Because it's not just, I don't know, there's a lot of other lanes you can look at and it's just like, well, X beats Y because Z. Because X has Z move or whatever. But these are the type of lanes where you actually get to see so much more skill expression. This happens a lot in top lane, I feel. Actually, I mean, like, I don't know, there's so, like, top lane's apparently one of the most counterpicked roles, but honestly, it's one of the lanes that I feel like more often than not, it's one of the only lanes where I actually get to watch like a skill matchup. Because mid lane often just ends up being dodge simulator. Bot lane is just who gets the engage simulator, but top lane it actually feels like who fights better. So it's honestly one of the more like entertaining ones, and I feel like this is one of the lanes that kind of expresses that, the who can fight better. But a lot of this is just going to be kind of some Doki doing some poke damage early. Some wibbling, wobbling. That's kind of what you expect, but going back onto mid lane and being the skill dodge simulator, this is one of those lanes situations, or these champions rather, one of those lane situations where that actually isn't quite necessarily constantly the case, because you actually have a Tristana mid, but I'm going to hold on to that because we got Doki caught up inside of the Mordekaiser ult, but they're able to waste enough time. They still have the Cell Division available. They're going to be able to get away, so I'm going to hop back down into this jungle fight here, just making sure that everything is all right. Bucci might be getting caught out here. Fusro running at them. Bucci forced to flash away, though. Everything's going to calm down, and people are going to be able to get away. And everything will be calm for today. And just like Tristana, we can hop back onto this mid lane action because, as I was saying, a little more exciting than your usual just two mid lane mages farming it out. I mean, not that mid lane mages farming it out or fighting it out even aren't exciting, because that can still be quite exciting. But the Tristana it's kind of a mix of both an interesting pick and not interesting, which is a little bit weird to say, because it's like it's a lot more fun to see her going in, throwing her bombs, firing her shots off, but also, I don't know, some people can say it's just like no skill, but I enjoy seeing the plays that Tristana can make with buffering CCs with her W, but honestly, all the time, most of the times that she's buffering CC with her W, she is just using it to W out of CC and be under her tower when a gank is happening. So it doesn't usually result in much. However, what is going to result in something is this fight here with Vixprian taking down Butch of the Boot into that river. They're now going in, chasing down Jubilee. Jubilee's health dropping low. Going to be finished off by Fusro. And that will be 2 kills there for 1.
Dodge this.
Better than any deal on fast food apps today. 2 for 1 deal. Most of the time you just get a free fries. It's tragic, really.
Time to take the shot.
And off of those 2 kills as well, it looks like bing, yep, 1 is also going to be able to secure 2 tower plates. That's stacking up a lot of gold in their pocket, almost giving themselves, well, it is giving themselves a 2.5k gold lead.
Red team's turret.
And it's going to be furthered even more as they take down the first turret, the bot lane turret going down. Bone able to W on out of there, using their ult to push the team away. And now having to flash as Doki ease in, throws down the ignite. He uses the ult to try and chase down Slammer Jack here. Slammer Jack using the ghost to run away. L might be able to sustain them up for long enough though, but meanwhile that skirmish is happening. We're going to have a fight up at the Grubs. Vixprian getting pulled into Jubilee's ult. Vixprian is low and is going to get finished off by Jubilee. Jubilee now back in the rest of the team, getting Doki low, but Doki has the Cell Division, so even if he goes down, he'll still last a little bit longer. We're going to leave that, though, for a second to watch Bucci get taken out by Fusro. Doki hopping out. Cell Division still not taken as Bone arrives to help out Jubilee. Able to take 1 more grub, and yep, is able to secure that last one as well. I was going to say, they only needed that one to get the 4 grubs and get that grub buff, but they were able to get more. Going to be a little bit more tower damage, which is perfect for IQ if they actually do what I really want them to do, which is do some splitting with Tristana, with Sivir, with Mordekaiser. Just put 1 or 2 of these champions in the side lanes and split with this grub buff, and you will have some amazing impact. Like, forget the dragons. Dragons are bait. It is not that important unless it's Hextech or Infernal. Then it's kind of important. But it's not going to be Hextech. And it's Cloud the next one. I want to say Cloud's the next one. But I can't say for 100% sure. because I don't trust League's UI overlays. Doki dropping low is almost down into the Soul Division, and I think Jubilee should be able to finish this one off, especially with the passive. Well, actually, the passive wore off, which means Doki's going to be able to stay alive and able to walk back and away. Jubilee's smart enough to know that he, if he tried to foolishly take that, would be going up against a Zac with fully reset cooldowns. And Zac with fully reset cooldowns is a Zac with about 50% more health. IQ setting up to take drag here. Not full control over this bot side, however, they do have a bit of an advantage.
Just wait.
It's gonna end up as a 4v3 Fusro on the way. They're gonna be pulling off the dragon now. Fusro arriving into the situation. Bone dropping low. Fusro going in with the Yelp, finishing off Bone. And now it is time for this bear to run around. Slammerai Jack able to finish off Bucci, but Super Noob and Rihi able to get away. That will transition into a dragon for
Blue team has slain the dragon.
1. And honestly, I feel like Rihi forced to flash forward there, able to cross the volley bear E. And as I was saying, I really feel like that IQ in that last in that drag fight should have just committed to drag and then try to get out of there. Because the people that were at drag
Blue team's
were
turret
Caitlyn
has
and
been
Soraka.
destroyed.
Like these are not tanky characters. And you were two sort of explosive characters, but admittedly not like super head explosive characters. So like, would you have one-shot them? No. But I don't think you're a team that really post 6 wants to try and win a team fight, because it's just not going to happen. So they definitely should have just tried to commit to the drag and get out of there, grant themselves a little bit of drag pressure. We're going to have to cut off that drag talk as we start to go in and get some kills. Victorina able to take out Jubilee there. I was about to say that Jubilee might be able to get away with just this teeniest little bit of health, but it will end up in 1 kill for 1, as well as the Rift Herald. And mid lane is going to be clear and prepped for the Taken. Doki able to get a double kill under their towers.
Double kill.
Rift Herald charging in. You know, what are the annoying things? I mean, I get it.
Destroyed.
I get it. But one of the annoying things about new Rift Herald,
Red team's
which
turret
again,
has been destroyed.
I get it. I get why. Oh, come on. Come on, L. Okay, I have 2 annoying things to say about Rift Herald now. One thing is I don't like, but again, I get it. I get why. Oh, L caught in the Mordekaiser ult. It's gonna be easily taken down. But as I was saying like 3 times before I interrupted myself again and again and again. About Rift Herald, which again, I get it. But it's disappointing that in order to get the extra grubs that spawn off of the Rift Herald, you have to be in it and charge at the tower, and it just charging at the tower on its own doesn't spawn them. Like, I get that it's supposed to be like you're like risking yourself to spawn them, but you're not really risking yourself that much because it launches you so far back. And usually if you're dropping Rift Herald in a lane, you're usually going to be there taking the tower, so I feel like usually you'd have control outside of the tower. And also, when somebody on your team runs into the wall, it's annoying that it doesn't get a charge on the tower. But again, I get why. I get why. And so those things are just a little unfortunate and a little annoying. Doki using the blast cone there to both get away and do a little bit extra jiggle damage.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
The goal difference in these teams has finally climbed up to 5K. IQ, I feel like they, I feel like they just tried a little bit too, just a few too many team fights post 6. And I feel like, I mean, I talked about it, the potential is there, but even that potential is pretty weak because that potential really relies on Jubilee ulting the right person out of the fight. And to be honest, I really don't know who or even if there is a right person, because I feel like there's almost multiple right people, which kind of makes there be no right person, because then what happens is you need to be ulting multiple people and you can't do that. So then there's just no right person to ult, because no matter who you ult, there's somebody else that you should have ulted. So it kind of ends up almost fruitless. Bone using the ult to get Doki away from him.
Pierce.
Infernal Drag is up. One are all around it, all over it. IQ are nearby, thinking about it, trying to get in a little bit. Jubilee ulting Samurai Jack. Wuchi gonna be taken down, taken out, and that will result in 2 kills for 1. Again, a 2-for-1 deal. Although IQ was able to take the mid lane turret during that, but honestly, I know what I said earlier about, you know, Drag's bait unless it's Hex or Infernal, and it is Infernal. But at this stage, you're just not gonna win fights. You're just not. Like, they have an objectively better team fighting comp, and ooh, we're gonna have a bit of a Baron skirmish potentially. Rihi flashing forward into their whole team just to try and get onto this rocket. Doesn't even finish off the Soraka. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no. Bone hopping in, but they're all too tanky. Bone's not going to do enough damage to finish off anybody. They're all getting away with just such little health left, but they don't need that much more health. When Baron has less than 1,000, they're able to finish it off. Sure, Jubilee is there, but he doesn't have ult. He's going to flash forward L there, though, to make sure that Samurai Jack has more than enough health. Almost gets grabbed by the Nether Grasp, but is able to get out there. Jubilee making their escape. Everything's going to be pulled off now. And it's like, didn't I get interrupted on talking about how IQ needs to not team fight just to watch them lose this team fight? But realistically, what IQ really needed to do this game, when they started to fall behind, which admittedly, I don't think they could see the gold lead, so technically they don't know how far behind they are, but it's probably not too hard to make that guess. That sounded a little toxic. I didn't mean for that to be as toxic as that sounded, but... Okay, you know, I said that thing about multiple right people for Mordekaiser's ult. One of those right people is not Soraka. I feel like these are more emotional R's than they are impactful R's. These are like restoring my own sanity R's, which for somebody that I do believe plays a decent bit of Mordekaiser, I could say that's fair, because there's probably a lot of a lot of solo queue matches where you are somebody and it does not go well because
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Mordekaisers are really ain't too great. It can be great, but like, I don't know, there's so many times where Mordekaiser just R's somebody and then he just dies for it. And it's not even like bad targeting necessarily, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much on that. But overall, I'm pretty sure I interrupted myself like 10 times while saying this. I'm really great at interrupting myself. But I want to finally be able to finish my thought on this. Is IQ, while they were behind, definitely should have just started like ignoring one whenever they were on like drag and just hard split pushing. Because like Soraka and not Soraka, what am I saying Soraka for? And again, Mordekaiser R'ing Soraka. Not even able to finish them off. Will come out of the ult early. Gonna start running down on Fusro. Fusro gonna be using the ult to try and get further away. Vexperian and Doki now up behind Jubilee. Yet again interrupting myself to cast this fight. Samurai Jack now catching Rihi. Rihi using the E, a little bit of healing. Deny the E, but it's not going to be nearly enough. As one now finishes off most of IQ. Bone, the only one that's left. But to finally finish my thought that I interrupted like 15 times. IQ just needed to split push whenever one was doing an objective. Because even with Mordekaiser and Tristana in the state that they are, where they were like kind of behind, both of those champs still had enough, just enough damage and attack speed from their kits and characters and items to do a lot to towers across the map. And especially since you've taken the outer towers. Like, the outer towers are the hardest to take. Once you've taken those, the other ones, they're a little weaker, man. They're a little weaker. You could do a lot of damage to them. But yet again, we're going to find IQ right in the midst of things, in the middle of a drag fight. Fusro able to claim it. Vexperian is going to be laying down a lot of damage on top of Samurai Jack, just popping people's heads off like he's a trained assassin. Hitting headshot after headshot. Gonna be an ace for one. It's like every time I want to try and talk about... I mean, I finished my thought, so I'm not going to start it again. Don't worry, you're not going to hear me say it a 15th time. Every time I try to start my thought or say something about how IQ needs to be split pushing, needs to be trying to find across the map pressure whenever one is taking these fights, they just find themselves in the middle of a team fight and they lose it because one just has an insanely good team fighting comp. They have a really good team fighting comp. They have the strong front line, they have the strong mid line, and they have that Soraka on the back, keeping that mid super healthy, which is able to do so much damage. You're seeing that damage come out here as they're starting to try and kill them in their fountain as they're taking the Nexus. That is going to be game 1-2-1. Whew. Game 1 going over to 1. I wonder if I will have a chance to look at some little bit of damage graphs. I will. Welcome. Oh. Welcome to the damage graph screen. Let me just refresh this screen real quick. Okay. Because I want to have a look at these damage. Wow. Vexperian did a lot of damage. 40,000 damage from Vexperian. Of course, Jubilee did some good damage. Jubilee wasn't doing... The only thing Jubilee did wrong was their R targeting. I'm curious if they targeted that way to try and deny the healing, because they did not have any anti-heal, not on Zyra, and like supports like can't build anti-heal anymore. I mean, they can build Morello because I think Morello's like a cheap item now, but it's difficult nonetheless. It's difficult. Oh, I should probably hide my friends list. That's okay. That's not important. There's nothing there. There you'll get the good old stretched client. How you liking that one? That's a little better. Actually, I might be able to... No, I guess I can't stretch it out down too much. But I want to look at... Did we... Like, can I look at objective damage? Where is that at? Total damage to objectives or turrets. I mean, look at that. Even Caitlyn, which wasn't even one of the... No, that's the wrong team. But... I don't know. I mean, of course, looking at damage to turrets is going to be a little bit skewed. Because one team won. And so that team's obviously going to have more damage. But, IQ should have just been, like, split pushing more, I feel. But, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because... It's tough because you feel like if you give up the fights... and you lose, it feels like if you give up the fights and lose, then it's like, oh man, why did we do that? That's what lost us the game. Why did we're throwing and we're trolling? So I understand it feels difficult to give that up, but I feel, oh man, it's tough. It's rough. And why would you listen to me? I'm just the caster. But anyways, let me move over to the screen. We'll hop into the lobby now. Hello. Now I have to sit up. This is awful. Terrible. But great game one still. Honestly, were there things I didn't like? A lot, yes. But still, honestly, a fun game one to watch. Yeah, not a good match at all for IQ. It was still a fun one to watch for me, though. Oh, we have to remake lobby. Okay, whatever. But now I can cover a few things, because there's a few things I wanted to mention. For both, I don't know how many people are watching live, but for both live and recorded and other casters / people. Well, for one, congratulations, you can't resist week 3 player of the week. But hopping past that, I realized I never introduced myself in my cast, but I'm Bunny Koo, and also, because I saw like one message about it before, and I never really addressed it except for like one message in the production channel of the server, but the overlay I created, and I want to, it just makes editing everything quicker, easier, more convenient, more smooth, and I want to be able to share that, but I also want to make sure that it's not broken, because if it breaks on a broadcast, the way it's designed, you can't really manually edit the bits. Then if it breaks on a broadcast, your overlay is just like messed up. So I want to make sure that it's fully working first. Everything. So that's why I have a special little guy. Because before I start promoting it to everybody, I want to make sure it actually works. but it adds a lot of little conveniences. And adds some new abilities and information and automated updatability. So hopefully it can work out pretty well. But oh, I should hop into spectators. Oops. Okay, remake lobby again, part 2. All right. Hopefully that gets worked out. Looks like we're having lobby issues. Typical indie company stuff. But let's talk about those games, huh? Or that game, not those games. That game. And more importantly, not necessarily talking about that game, but talking about what we want to go forwards from that game. Because we had, I'm just going to recall it right down, make sure I can remember this. Zack, Mord, Victor, Caitlyn, and we had Soraka. I say Zack Mord? What am I talking about? Zack Volibear. Zack Volibear, and we were up against like a Mord, Zyra, Trist. Game lobby is full. Uh-huh. There we go. Thank you. And a Sivir and Bilio. So, like, going forwards, one thing we want to look at is... Actually, I'm going to pull up the Game 1 bans. So this is Game 1 picks and bans. I'm going to go back and look at these. Because I want to mainly focus on IQ's bans. Because you gotta change something here, right? I feel like... I just realized the draft music is going to be playing because I'm in draft. So we're going to have epic draft music while I just casually talk about picks and bans and what you want to change up. Because... A-Soul ban? No. Nope. I feel it... No. Like, especially if you're going to pick Tristana. No. Come on. What? No. No, just don't ban A-Soul. I feel like it's so easy to just pick things that counter A-Soul. Why would you ban A-Soul? Especially as your first ban? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. No, wait. That was the second ban phase. What I'm talking about. That was the second ban phase. Second ban phase banning A-Soul? Fine. Whatever. But... I don't know. We'll have a look at that other stuff, though. So, Amumu, Udyr, good bans. Fairly solid bans. The Vex ban, also good. But I think I would shift this around. Probably do Amumu and Zack. And then a mid ban. But you're gonna want you're gonna need something because if you're banning Mumu, Zack, and a mid, you know they're gonna pick Volibear. I don't know, banning mid 3 times. Okay, I would do. I don't know, like you gotta ban. I think you can let the Mumu through actually. I was thinking no Mumu because they can like flex it a little bit, but honestly I think you can let the Mumu through. I want to ban mid 3 times over. Maybe. Maybe you want to save 2 bans for mid. But I don't know. I think you want to ban Zack. And you want to ban... No, not Zack? Maybe Zack. Nah, Volibear? It's tough. I feel... Because who was like more impressed with that match? Volibear was pretty crazy. Like I don't necessarily that he did like super crazy damage, but he just like was there. He was impactful. I don't know his damage for sure, but I know he was there and impactful. So I'd almost want to. I want to see at least Volibear or Zack in the first 50 bans from IQ, or they haven't adapted at all. Or they better just pop out 2 counters. Or somehow one just doesn't pick them. I don't know. But after that, feels rough, but you like have to have a Vex ban. Oh, the new draft is out. I should have been paying attention to the client. So I guess we're gonna see. I'll just talk about it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. And IQ, the new page loaded up, and it looked like I was on the same draft. They did not really adapt things. They did ban away Caitlyn. Admittedly, they took away the Caitlyn. That is a good one to take away. Because it's definitely a really strong ADC right now. And with one banning away Ezreal, you can kind of know which way Jack is being pushed towards. Parentheses, the Jinx, probably. We are going to have a Volley, Vex, and Zac, which is, honestly, that is what I was sort of progressing towards saying to ban, was those 3 characters. I was saying, like, I want to see at least the Volley or Zac. It feels bad having to ban them both, but I want to see at least one of them in the bans. And then I also want to see a Vex ban. It feels like the best thing perhaps to do would have been to ban Volley or Zac, ban Vex, ban Kate as your first 3 bans in IQ. Instead, they followed up with the Mumu Udyr, which isn't bad, admittedly. Those are good bans. But they just feel bad in retrospect to the last game we just watched. That's what they feel bad about. Man, I feel like you really could have let a Mumu through. I feel like a Mumu just isn't too terribly strong right now compared to these 2 champions. I feel like a Mumu is much easier to deal with than these 2 champions, but player skill can make a difference, I suppose. Maybe Bustro is super crazy on the Mumu, but I don't think I've seen it. I think I've only... No, maybe I did... My memory's not great. As you can tell from me struggling to recall the 10 champions I just watched play for 30 minutes earlier. But overall, IQ picking up the Ivern. Good pick for Bucci. They played a lot. Gonna pick up the Tristana. Don't like that one too much, honestly. I don't like picking up the Tristana against the Vex. That one feels wrong. That one feels bad. That one feels like you would just lose, actually. And Seraphine. Okay, actually, I might like this one. I actually might like this Seraphine pick. I was sitting back grumpy, like, Seraphine pick, don't like it, but I actually don't mind it too much. In this case, if it's APC, I don't mind it. Because you have the Tristana, so it's like you have your AD carry, maybe your Tristana mid, so if you put APC bot, you can get sort of that similar safe farming situation as last game. Unless they pick an ADC right here to throw Seraphine support, then I'm walking away. So what are they gonna do? What are you gonna do? It all comes down to you. See, I actually don't even know if this one's an ADC or a support. I actually don't know what is gonna be happening here. I imagine it's going to be. If I actually, I don't even think I need to look at my notes. I'm pretty sure I remember. I mean, I will just double check. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be Ashe, ADC, Seraphine, support. So... what can I say? What can I even say about this one? Because... oh, man. Man, oh, man. One just has they have like essentially the same gun, right? Like, other than the fact that one of their mid-wall characters, as I described them before, is now going to be diving potentially, or they could still just sit back. They kind of just have a mage that can opt into being an assassin if they want. And if they hit their R. If they miss their R, then they can't really opt into being an assassin. But, yeah. I think we all know where this one's gonna go. Because now, not only do they have that same wall with Volibear Zac, and that same, honestly, even better, like, super backline of Nami, because now Nami is just pressing W on people, and that W is also dealing damage. They're pressing E, and that's giving more damage, and it's slowing, and they're probably throwing out an R, which is, oh my goodness gracious, one's team fight. Like, the front line, the Nami R, the Misfortune R, on top of all of that, what do you even do? What do you even do? What do you do as IQ? You lose. That's what you do. I don't know. Honestly, like, man. This is where we hope, we pray, that IQ actually just split pushes this game. Because now what they have is a Seraphine that sits mid, just keeps it from pushing in, an Ivern that can shadow whoever and counter juggle while shadowing them easily, right? Because it's super easy for him to just late game, he just walks up to a camp, right clicks it again, it's gone, right? It's just that easy. And then if somebody comes, he just supports the person that he's shadowing, and then they, I don't know, they die or kill. One of the two happens. They die, kill, run away. So one of those three things happens. Doesn't really matter, because that's better than you team fighting and just dying for sure, right? And then, like, additionally, the Ashe could also, they could shadow the same person as the Ivern, and so you just, like, do like a 3-1-1 or 1-1-3. Because the Ashe will be, well, no, the Ashe was ADC. Everything just went awry. Seraphine APC would have been better. I thought it was, I don't know why I thought it was gonna be, Ashe support with Umbrel for a second, and that's what I was thinking, but then I just realized, well, it's Ashe ADC, so. What you're really gonna have is a 1-2-1 with the Ivern just shadowing somebody and helping them if somebody comes to them or their person they're shadowing. But that's not what we're gonna end up seeing. Almost certainly not what we're gonna end up seeing. What we're gonna end up seeing is IQ losing team fights. Because I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for that. Because I understand it's like you want to team fight. You want to fight because it feels so bad to just not, to just give them things. Because if you just give them the objectives, even if you're taking something somewhere else, and then they win, it feels like you were just throwing. It feels better to lose a team fight than it does to take stuff from the other parts of the map when you're playing in these kind of situations. It's a lot easier to just split and take things when you're playing solo, because it's very easy to just see these people as not real people and you're just like, I don't care about them, I don't care what happens to them. But then, like, when you're playing together, you feel like you need to fight together. You feel like you need to team fight, do all these things. But honestly, I really am just like pushing, encouraging for IQ to just split push here. Please split push. I mean, to be fair, IQ's team fight's not terrible, but it's not as good as 1. Like the Seraphine R, it's a good R. It's a darn good team fight R. The Seraphine R can have a lot of impact. Ashe R as well can. It's more of a catch tool, but it's not bad in fights. It's not bad in team fights. So it's definitely an option. Definitely an option. But then again, I feel like actually, I feel like there is a right person. Well, not person for Mordekaiser to R this time, and that is Vex. Mordekaiser needs to R Vex here. When she dives in. If Vex dives in, Mordekaiser R's Vex. If Zac dives in and starts R'ing, Mordekaiser R's Zac. Well, actually, you kind of want to get the R off before Zac starts R'ing. So, sorry, I need to adjust my chair. So I feel like Zac kind of needs... Sorry, not Zac. Mord kind of... Either Zac or Vex is going to hop in first. Maybe Volibear. And you're going to want to R whoever hops in first, I feel. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee the fight. And this answer could change as we see items and players progress, which we are going to do right now as we hop back into game 2. I accidentally just hit pause. I did. Let me make sure I'm caught up to live. Okay. Nothing crazy was happening early. And we are gonna start seeing everything go down again. We're gonna have a repeat of the top lane from last time. Mord and Zac. They both did, honestly, pretty decent in their lane. I feel like both of them did pretty decently. It was just Jubilee making some questionable Rs later on in the game. Were they emotional? Were they mistakes? I don't know. I don't want to say for sure whether he needs to be told. I don't know what I'm saying. But I do feel as though both of them would do pretty good in that lane. And hopefully they can do both do good in the game. But moving down from that, we have a Tristana repeat, but this time up against Vex. I do not like seeing this repeat necessarily. Ooh, Fusro placing that E. Interesting on W path. Pretty smart there. Ooh, Vixprian flashing forward and laying down the Ignite. One more auto will make sure that that Ignite ticking down finishes them off. Vixprian getting first blood again. Absolutely crazy now. Bucci the Boo getting caught by Fusro in the jungle. Unfortunately, even with a root, pretty hard to run away, but they will still manage to do it with the smallest sliver of health left over after that. Riki starting to go in on Slamurai, has that Q empowerment to help them out, bringing them both down to around the same health. Riki though has the pot and will be able to heal up a little bit higher. Has a little bit more mana, but I don't know if they'll necessarily be able to find a good engage there, especially with the Nami damage, but I'm going to have to stop talking about that as we have Fusro and Doki going in on Jubilee here. Jubilee has way too much between him and his tower. I don't think he'll be able to walk back, as Doki definitely is able to finish him off in time. Bone hopping in on Vex here. One more auto will be all he needs to finish him off the tower. Fearing him into the tower there was excellent work by Vixprian, able to help the tower finish off Bone. Going to be a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. And as I was saying earlier about the Vex Tristana mid matchup, is that I didn't really like seeing that because Vex will kind of just get extra damage every time Tristana wants to go in or get away. So it's not super great, although it's not really a like direct counter or anything, I wouldn't say. Definitely helps out a lot, but it's not like as crazy as like Vex into Lucian or Vex into like I don't know. I guess what is it? LeBlanc. Vex into LeBlanc is crazy. That is like nearly unplayable for LeBlanc. Because like even when she gets like her passive clone, she's then still marked by Vex passive. So it's just like the game's just telling you, oh yeah, it's this one by the way. So it's just like unplayable. But that's not important because that's not what this game is. This game is Fus Ro now making his way into this lane as L gets taken out and finished off. Rihi gonna be able to take out Slammerai Jack here as well for a double kill using the barrier to tank that tower shot. Fus Ro now we're gonna get pressured away by Super Noob here, the Seraphine, pressuring them back, pressuring them away. Although, to be fair, if they did just stay there and play that little pickle game of which way to go around the rock to get this Ashe, he would have just died in 10 minutes of Seraphine autos. So not really a whole lot you could do there. But it is good to see that this lane is going much better for IQ than I was gonna say than I thought it would, but I hadn't really thought too much about how this lane would go. I just kind of had all kinds of weird thoughts about ways this lane could go because of just all the weird ways that League has been going these past couple of days. Vixgrigan going into the ult, able to finish off Bucci in what feels like an absolute instant. Jubilee pulling Vixgrigan inside of the realm. Is going to be able to take them out. Doki now caught in between a Bone and a Jubilee. Taken down into the Cell Division. Fus Ro finishing off Doki in the lightning. I didn't even see that lightning and that thunder coming down, finishing them off. Taking them out. They're going to be able to take, what is that, 2 grubs for themselves? Scoop it up themselves a little meal. Both teams still able to get the grub buff. IQ, hopefully, considering prioritizing the grub buff, considering some sort of more split push oriented strategy. Honestly, I guess technically they don't have to play a split pushy strategy. What they need to do is play for picks with Ashe R. As we saw it there, pretty good. But Slammerai Jack, I was gonna say but Slammerai Jack is cleansed. Slammerai Jack didn't cleanse there because they cleansed already. The cleanse here was a good idea in this game. For both Seraphine and Ashe. And does cleanse still cleanses Mordar, right? It was just QSS that lost the cleanse in Mordar? I want to say? But I'm actually not sure about that. It might have lost it as well. Ooh, we're gonna have a 4-man gank experience, deleting Super Noob in just an instant. Reheat going down basically just as fast. Just when you thought IQ's bot lane might be having the game, one comes down to show them that they are the one. Ooh, Doki getting pulled into the Death Realm here. Gonna be finished off by Jubilee. They're trying to defend their own tower, but it wasn't gonna be enough. Hopping and stomping and blob grabbing to heal them up. Vexperian gonna get jumped in a little bit here, unable to really do too much damage to Bone Guard, but their W also prevented a lot of damage from Bone going onto them. That's one thing about the Vex Tristana matchup that I was thinking about is if Tristana hops in on Vex, like after hitting an E, hitting a couple autos, and then hops in, Vex can just W. And then, like, proceed to not care, and then also potentially one-shot you. So it's not stellar to see.
High five, Daisy!
Ooh, the ult coming out from both sides, but unfortunately that Seraphine ult looks like it missed everything. Samurai Jack, the Bullet Storm, gonna be doing a lot, and Super Noob thinking they can get away to the safety of their tower is gonna be fooled as it gets disabled by Fusro and taken down. Vexperian now gonna be using the shadowy follow-up to get on to Lucci, but unable to take them out. Jubilee going down low, but Bone is here just as they thought they were going to win, is able to take them out. Jubilee almost going down to Doki there, but is going to be able to live. Bucci survives. Jubilee survives. Bone gets kills. Overall good there for IQ right after things were starting to look bad, but things, ooh, I was about to say, might start looking for a potential dive here on IQ. I was thinking if a Nami Q would have landed there, I think that Samurai and L might have been able to do a huge, big chunk, but he actually did way more damage than anticipated thanks to that Kraken Slayer. I was able to pressure Samurai Jack away, even while they were trying to book under tower.
The stage is yours. Sit down and listen up.
Vexperian going in, Shadow helping them crawl their way through the Bullet Storm, tickling, just barely managing to fully reach. Samurai Jack taking big damage from those tower shots, and a TP now coming in from Jubilee. Jubilee making their way down the speed, helping them catch up. Again, they are ulting the support, but honestly, this time I'm not mad about it. It was the only person they could reach, and in this case, it was a good thing to go for. Jubilee able to take out L. Samurai Jack able to luckily get away. But Jubilee still gets something out of that TP. And Doki will be able to get some plates out of it. Getting probably roughly equal gold, unfortunately. But regardless, still not too bad for Mordekaiser. Not too bad.
Sometimes I need to treat myself.
They're gonna find a little engage on Bucci here. Fusro using the ult to follow up. And we're gonna hear Timber as he has taken out Vexperian. Now going in to follow up on these kills. Rihi They're gonna go in. Able to finish them off, flashing away to try and get out from the tower. Bone now here to join in on the fight. Vix's ult just barely missing. Vix on Vex. I just realized how much I like that little rhyme. Vix and Vex. Vixie Vex. Vix Vex. Is that intentional? Maybe. Vex is their like most played champion, I think. The bullet storm coming out. Riki gonna be fine to walk away. L using the Shurelya to help them run just in case. Nothing to really run from there, but just in case. Not a long cooldown to burn to keep yourself safe. I forgot to take note of this earlier, so we'll take note of it now. One did pick up the next set of grubs, so IQ does not have the grub buff. They just have one little grub of true damage burn. But that will not be enough to really amplify their split pushing power. Jubilee going to be bringing Fusro into the realm with him, as Doki is unfortunately forced to waste his ult outside of it. But it's still not going to be enough. They are still going to be trapped inside a Baron Pit with a lot of members of one afterwards. Doki close to the cell division, but they pick up the blobs and they get so much more damage. Meanwhile, Slamberry Jack taking out Seraphine into the bot lane, almost able to take out Riki as well, but Riki is able to get away. Booch the Boo now backing off as Bone, after Bone is taken down as well. So much happening across the map there all at once.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
One now able to get turret despite how this game, it's strange. Because honestly,
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Jubilee running at Slamberry Jack doesn't have the ult as they just used it in the previous fight. They're going to be able to take out L, and as I just gotta say, honestly, this game has been looking both simultaneously better and worse for IQ. Like, IQ has been, it's felt better, but one has felt even better in this game. Like, it feels like both teams are playing a lot better than they were in the last game, and I feel like that's partially Vix being on Vex. I mean, wow, Vix and Vex, I gotta say, is actually really good. And I'm not talking about the rhyme this time, I'm actually talking about the champion performance, because, wow, don't give this person Vex. That is a dangerous thing to see, and I do not like to see it. Because that is strong. Bone going in with the W, and then immediately trying to get away as they realize, oh no, I do not want to be here. Vixperian coming in with the ult. These ults do not miss. I've never seen a Vex that hit so many ults. And unfortunately, Jubilee finally finding a real good, real impactful R. However, not in a team fight. So, not actually that impactful. But still good. Still a good solid R. It will allow him to get a kill, and it will prevent Vixperian from potentially getting another kill there. So, solid gameplay. But yeah, I do just gotta say, Vix on Vex just feels unfair. The charm coming out from Seraphine, it's only hitting L flashing away, but Riki, their damage is gonna be able to take them out. Doki doesn't find another thing to latch onto to knock Riki up. Riki is gonna be able to help out with so much damage. Super Noob finishing them off to get the kill. But it will be a little bit for one, and like, I mean, not one, sorry, IQ. And as I was saying, like, both of these teams, like, especially IQ feels like they are doing just, like, so much better, but it still just doesn't seem like it's amounting to that much. Like, Vixperian just deleted Bucci there, and IQ like IQ has a 6k gold disadvantage. Jubilee getting onto Vixperion here. Vixperion throwing out the Q and flashing sideways to try and delay a little bit more. Jubilee getting the shutdown though, and is going to get a bit of health from that healing, but Slimer Jack is going to flash forward to finish them off, with Doki coming in to take out Riki. Doki jumping in as Bone Guard jumps away, almost able to do something big there. The Ash are coming in long, but they're too scared to walk up. But just walk up. It's just L. It's just L. It's just a Nami. Oh, but this Tristan doesn't have Navori yet, so they wouldn't have had W. So it would have been a potential risk. I can understand the apprehension, I suppose. A little unfortunate.
Gotcha.
Ooh, the Seraphine R is going to come out. It's going to hit everybody, but will it be enough for IQ? Will it finally be what they need to win these fights? Jubilee is on their backline, but now Vixperion is on IQ's. Fusro now diving in after Vixperion goes down. Fusro able to take out Rihi, and their damage is going to continue along with their healing. Fusro and Doki both just trying to jump in as far as they can go, but it's not going to be enough. Super Noob able to get a triple kill with all of their support items, and IQ is going to take drag here. Holy moly. I wouldn't think, I would not have thought that the Seraphine with, what is it, Dreamy Bubble Potion Pot Maker, Dreamy Bubble Time, Sweet Dream Bubble Time, Baby Bubble Pop, what is this new support item called? Who knows? Along with Echoes of Helia, I think that's what that one's called, right? Move, Vixperion going in on Jubilee. They used the shield to negate so much damage there, but then there was so much more following up after that. Vixperion able to take out Jubilee. Throwing out an ult, it's going to land on Bucci the Booth. And even though Bucci is able to get away, all of that damage is going to fall onto Rihi. Misfortune Bulletstorm gonna not find any real targets there. Bone Garrett gonna definitely find some trouble in his face right here. As Fusro and Doki just stun lock him and burn him and smack him and wail on him until he is defeated. And now one is gonna be taking Baron. And this could easily start to spell the end of the game. Almost a 5k gold lead coming up.
Meet my friend.
Fusro gonna get engaged in on here by Bucci, and Jubilee getting pulled into the ult. Not gonna be able to get any help here from L. Fusro using his ult to try and last just a little bit longer. Will get taken down by Jubilee. Vixperion now getting locked up by Rihi. Not gonna get taken out there. Now they're gonna get taken out, but not after getting a kill for themselves. Holy moly, I really expected them to go down there, but that W shield is just so much for Vex. Really thought Rihi would have had the damage, but unfortunately, Vix just had more.
The birds did it.
And now, what once was me spelling out the end for IQ is going to be IQ starting to push in on the mid tower. Going to start to take down Doki. Seraphine ult coming out as Doki tries to run away. It's going to catch both L and Doki. L trying to get away, will be able to go under their tower. Bone flashing forward, but getting taken out by the tower.
A gift from the forest.
Jack chasing him down.
Daisy, break
And they're a little cornered, but they should be aware. Doki now here, deep inside them. Super Noob trying to run away. Doki super low, and he's gonna finish off by one more crystal arrow. Little crystal arrow firing from Ash's bow. Avarosa guiding her. But not to the victory, as Vixperian slides in there with Shadow to explode and finish them off. And now what once was me talking about IQ losing, talking about how they're not going to lose and one is going to lose, and talking about now how one is turning all of that now into IQ losing as they smash down one turret, another turret going down, especially disabled during Volibear's ult. Jubilee gonna be taking an ult onto Slamurai, but it's not gonna be enough. He's going to get taken down, and alongside of him, the Nexus is going to go down too. That is going to be 2 games taken. 4-1. And that will be the series for 1. 2-0, but honestly, even though I feel like I wasn't a fan of IQ's bans, I feel like they really executed their picks well. They genuinely, even though they probably lost as hard, I feel like both teams genuinely in game 2 just did like better. They both did better is the problem. It's like if you just like closed one of your eyes and looked at just IQ, you'd be like, wow, these people really improved. But then you open both of them and it's like, wow, actually both teams just did insanely better. And so that was like as we said last match, not a good match for IQ, but honestly was a good match to watch because both teams really stepped it up in that game, and it was really entertaining and fun to watch. Honestly, just a good series overall, and a fun game for week 4. And I believe next games will be Sunday, so tune into those because I had it pulled up earlier and I don't still have it pulled up, but there is only, what is this, 1, this is the current week, so that's like 3, that's 4, this is week 5, 6, does that count as, I don't know if those are all separate weeks. Oh, I guess 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those are separate weeks. So week 4, we'll be wrapping up on Sunday. Last 2 games on Sunday. 6:30 Central currently, or like both games maybe? Trying to make sure I have everything. Correct. Sunday, 6:30 Central or 7 Central. There's 2 games happening at the same time. I'm not sure which one's going to get cast or if one of them will get rescheduled maybe. But be there for that because that's exciting. Have a good day, good weekend because it is Friday and I forgot about that. It's Friday. Have a good Saturday. And then pull up to stream on Sunday. 6:30 or 7 Central. Whenever the pings come out. Good weekend.